I love whiskey, I love whiskey, I love whiskey, yes I do. I love whiskey, I love drinking it because it tastes great. I love whiskey. Mm. 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 Ooh, Gordon sent me a message. Mm. Oi, you southern expletive. Ollie, aka 8-Bit Boy UK, isn't available to do the next live stream. So get your limp expletive ass in expletive gear and do a live stream so we can expletive pick the next game. Otherwise, I'll have your expletive ass kicked out of the expletive Club 52 group. That's weird. I haven't hurt my legs or my feet. Why does he think I'm limping? Anyway, what's the game we're playing this month?
Cuts the flesh, the mind will fall. Slay the seven, save us all. Fulfill what others failed to do. Mornia depends on you. Morbid, the Seven Acolytes. Magratheus bless you, striver.
Oh, fuck. Hello, Internet, is John Bunday, and I seem to be very well lit right now. But hi, welcome to the Club 52 stream. This is the first time I've ever done a live video on my channel, so I guess I better be professional here. Right. So what are we here for again? Oh yeah, something about a video game. Anyway, so Ollie can't be here today, so you got me instead. Sorry. But we have some other people here as well who I will now add in. So first of all, we have Ross, aka Bohoho. Hi, Ross.
Howdy doody.
We have Gordon, aka Gib84 Gaming.
How's it going?
And also, we have Dylan, aka Hypertrigger X. Hello.
And he's muted.
He's muted. He's still muted. He's not muted, but you're still not coming through.
Got him in mind tonight.
I'm still pouring, so.
I didn't wait till it started. I'd already cracked one.
Yeah, I want to do a bit of theatre, so. Anyway, so how are we all doing, lads?
All good?
Good. Aye. Ready for the next game.
So I've introduced everyone. So once Dylan sorts his mic issues out, he'll be back in a moment. But while he does that, I do have a video from Ollie. So for why he picked the game. So I thought we would probably start off with that so we can hear why the game was picked. And the video at the beginning is probably like the most editing I might have ever done to try and put effort I've put in. So I hope people appreciated that, even if, you know, anyway, so.
It was a welcome surprise.
Well, you know, I also thought it's two birds, one stone, because also I got the trailer for the game so that if people have no idea what this game is, which, to be honest, I'd never heard of it before, I thought it'd be quite handy, you know, if people were actually here at the beginning of the stream, they could see what we're on about. But yeah, so I will get Ollie's video up and then we will have a bit of discussion. And we also have another video from Steve as well, so because he can't make it, but we have his thoughts. But actually, before I play that, oh no, Dylan's walking off. He's back into the backstage. But while he grabs a drink, I will do some more presenting. Blah blah blah. Bear with. Share and here we go.
Hey everybody, it's Ollie. Yeah, just been asked to put a few words together on Morbid. So just to give you a bit of background, I was invited to the 52 Game Club the very back end of last year. And then the next thing I know, they were like, right, you need to nominate some games. So I thought, you know what? A game I really enjoyed was Morbid, the Seven Acolytes. And you can see it just there. Hopefully there's not too much reflection. It's still partially sealed. So I could get the bottom open that way. But yeah, I absolutely love this game. It was actually bought for me as a birthday present from my wife. She pre-ordered the PS4 version for my birthday. Gosh, must have been 3 or 4 years ago. And it was at a time where I hadn't really played many indie games at all. This was one of the very first ones that I'd played. I'd just seen a trailer, and the first thing that caught me was actually the music. And I thought, yeah, that looks absolutely phenomenal. I definitely want to give that a try. And then, yeah, before I knew it, my wife had bought it for me. I was over the moon, played it, loved it. It's not the typical sort of game. It does take a bit of getting used to. It's a bit slow burn. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's quite an easy platinum as well. A little hint, if you're going to play the game and you want to get the platinum, make sure you take on the very first boss to get the no-hit kill. The rest are much more difficult. Anyway, thanks ever so much, and enjoy the stream.
Right, I will contradict him slightly, but a bit later when we get to it. But I will change one thing he says. But who here actually now owns a physical copy of the game?
No.
Nope.
Nope. Because
Not that price.
correct me if I'm wrong, the price of this is going up a bunch, isn't it?
It's pretty mad. Like
Wow.
when I was looking at it, I made sure I had a digital version of it when it was on sale ages ago. Because I thought it's going to come up, I need it. It used to be really cheap. I saw it all the time for about £8. Then when it came out the wheel, I looked at it, it was like £100 to £120 plus. That's ridiculous. So I got lucky with that copy for like £85.
So I will go through the comments at the moment, but just for people who aren't aware, so correct me if I'm wrong, this is an indie game, and it gets called a Souls-like, even though Eddie Royalcore says it's not Souls-like, but I would say it kind of is, because it has a stamina bar, so that you have to use, like, because to me, people who've actually played Souls games might be going like, what are you on about? But I haven't played Souls games, but to me it's kind of like you have to go in, get hits in, and then kind of dodge out to get your stamina to replenish and then go back in for attacks. To me, that sounds like what Souls-like games are. I mean, is that fair to say? Yeah.
I've never played. Well, I've never really played one in depth. I think I tried to play Bloodborne. So I thought that everyone told me that was the easiest one, but it wasn't easy. And I was playing it for about a month, and I was literally stuck on the same first level forever. But yeah, so I don't know. I couldn't comment on that, to be fair. But yeah, Souls, like, let's be honest, it gets thrown around like sweets, doesn't it? You know, it's
that's right.
So
The only thing that makes it not a Souls-like is you don't lose everything when you die.
True.
That's the only thing I can think of. Other than that, it's pretty Souls-like.
I mean, because again, this is through internet osmosis what I know about like Souls-like. So you have the heart replenishes, which I believe kind of act like Estus flasks. If you use a shrine to heal, that will bring back all of the enemies in the area that you've already cleared out, which I think again is kind of like a Souls, well, the Dark Souls thing.
I think you rest at bonfires. I think it brings everything back.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
play
that
a lot
kind
of
of, mechanic, I think. So yeah. Okay, so before getting more to it, we have in the chat, we have officially captured. Thank you for joining us. We have Ollie at 8-Bit Boy UK, somebody called Hyper Trigger X. I don't know who he is. We have Scott Glory Hunter. We have Mark Goes Blind Gaming, and then also Eddie Roller Call, and I think that is everyone. Thank you. Oh, Gold Paint, hello. So yeah, thank you everyone who coming to see my very first live stream. And so for those who weren't here earlier on, it's my very first live stream. Like because Ollie can't do this, so I thought I would throw my hat into the ring because I was out of those of us who started playing it for the challenge. I think I might have been the first one or the second one to beat it, but then I was trying to throw out hints to other people to say, try this. So I think I kind of became one of the most vocal people, like, oh no, keep going, keep trying it. So, I mean,
you championed it, John. I will say that you championed it hard, mate.
Yeah, which
you were the Morbid guru.
It was not my intention. Because I think for like a lot of people who might play this, the beginning of the game, like I think I might have been close to quitting it.
Yeah, I was like that. I was like, oh my god, I'm not enjoying this. I can't get on with it. It's so slow and plodding. It was a bit of it's a slow bit, but it's something like it does like get to a moment and it starts to click a bit more, and you're like, it starts to open up a little bit. And yeah, it's the £2. I got me money's worth. I'll say that.
I found the game balls hard, but I'm not going to say why yet.
We need to talk about that when we get to it. But to be fair, like this was perfect timing for this to come on the wheel because it was an offer, which is also why I picked it up. Because if I don't own the game and it's not something that I think will necessarily grab me, I'm an R whether or not I want to buy it. But because it was in a bundle with 2 other games for £5, I was like, and one of them was on my wish list already. No brainer, grab it. So, because I was trying to scroll up to a comment that was left by Paul because I don't think he's on the live stream. Going past me being taunted with very expensive whiskies by some asshole who went to a corporate event. But yeah,
that was fun.
How was your head this morning?
It was sore. It was a sore one, man. It was good though. It was really good. It was a long day. A long day of drinking whiskey, John. You'd have hated it.
Yeah.
Do you have one now as a follow-up event?
That's it. I'm off. I'm off the drink now. Until next year.
Till next year. Oh, but so Paul's comment, Paul Ignorfner, he said, not sure if I can make it, but to sum up in 2 words, fucking boring. So, and I mean, so I can't remember how far into the game he got, but for that the section before you fight the first acolyte, I don't think it's that engaging. The boardwalk bit, especially, I mean, the very first couple of areas, I think is doing some world building. It's interesting to see like how gruesome and disgusting the world actually is. But once you get to the boardwalk and it just you can't use any upgrades yet, as in like you literally can't upgrade anything. So you're stuck with the equipment you found, and then it's just a bit of a slog to get through that section until you do get to the first acolyte. I'm guessing that's because they want you to kind of like understand the base mechanics of like dodging, parrying, and that kind of stuff. But it felt a bit, that was gonna put me off, to be honest, until I kind of like just forced myself to run through bits of it to.
It felt really slow till I realised you could run.
Yes,
it's a theme with me in this game.
For me, I don't know. Like early on, I mean, suppose maybe why some people might have given up. Like, I mean, the reason I was like that. It didn't really explain. I know you felt it did, John, but I don't think it really explained a lot about what you were doing and the items and stuff you picked up. And it's like I didn't understand. This is probably why Ross encountered his issue with the game. You know what I mean? We'll say about later. It doesn't give you enough info. I suppose maybe it makes it assumes you play these sort of games and you can fill in the gaps. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just felt there wasn't a lot of explanation with some stuff.
Sorry, just to answer Eddie's question. So the other game in the bundle I had on my wish list was Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. So I'm guessing it's either the same developers or the same publisher. I can't remember what the third game is, but it not one I heard of before, but I had that on my wish list for a while, so I now have that. But yeah, so but to get back to Dylan's point, this game I think does a terrible job of explaining, okay, for the first part of the game, and then maybe for little bits after, there are books on the floor that you can read, and it will tell you like, here's a mechanic, here's what you press to do something. But besides those things, there's other stuff it does not explain, like the sanity meter, for example. You know,
Yeah,
like, I basically I've truly understood how that worked for like pretty much our entire playthroughs. So
well,
yeah.
I did bring up that I did find that wiki article about it. You know what I mean? I posted in the group, and it was saying about. I can't remember what it said, to be honest. It was that long ago that I played it, but it did try to explain how that worked. I believe the lower your sanity meter was, the more your
experience goes up. Like,
yeah, more when you were hitting people. That the higher it would take, more damage it would take off people. You know what I mean? That's right, sort of.
But
But it brings all the enemies back from the dead.
yes,
there is that. Also, it's like there's a reward. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Risk reward.
Yeah, risk reward system. You know what I mean? Like you say, Ross, that the enemies come back as well. You know what I mean? So you've got to fight.
You also don't get any. You don't get any experience.
All the amount of like experience points and all that. So yeah, it's.
You don't get any experience though until you've beaten them.
Until you've beaten them both.
Yeah. So again, those who don't know, so you have the sanity meter, which is not your stamina or your health, completely separate bar. And once that gets down to about, I think it's a quarter or a fifth health, and the screen starts pulsating purple a bit. But then you also, when you kill an enemy, then a purplish version of it will suddenly spring up, and then you have to kill that, to get experience and whatever item it was that you were hoping to get from them. So, because you also do get item drops for the enemies as well. So,
one other thing I need to say about the stamina meter, it doesn't explain it. That when you've got a weapon equipped, all the like things on the weapon, one of them says minus like sanity. Yeah. That really should feel like it should be against the enemy, not you.
Yeah, that's what I immediately thought the same thing as well. But I guess if you were looking to try and get the damage output up and the experience gain up, there might be some people who are like deliberately trying to get their sanity lowered for that
reason. But if you have to kill the enemy twice to get more XP, you might as well keep your normal sanity and just kill enemies twice.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Shall I play Steve's video now, and then we'll carry on chatting?
Aye.
Okay, let's see, share. I feel like there's too many button clicks to do this, but
hello, how the devil are you? Whoever's on this stream. Yeah, like I said, I can't. Obviously, if you see this, I haven't had a chance to jump on the stream, which probably be out doing something with the missus and the kids, I expect, on a Sunday evening. Normally down the in-laws. Yeah, my dog just hit the camera. They say never work with kids and animals. They fucking right. Yeah. Anyway, quick little chat from me about Morbid. I absolutely loved it. Like I said, I was away on holidays when it was it away on holidays? It must have been, yeah, and I missed like so much talk in the chats and all that about about the game and how what was picked. I didn't even know who picked the game. I thought it was John Bundy, and obviously John's doing his stream now. I thought it was John that picked the game. And it was, and it wasn't John, it was Ollie, 8-Bit Boy UK. So cheers to Ollie for picking a game. Otherwise, I never would have known about this game. And big thanks as well to Eddie, who said he was on sale on the PSN store for £2. And yeah, like I said, it's one of them ones. At the start, honestly, I put in the group, Club 52 group, that I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I was enjoying it. And it's mad, it reminded me a bit, and like I said, it's going to sound really strange now, reminded me a bit I'm Fun Dog. It reminded me a bit of like Gauntlet. Gauntlet mixed in with an arc and slash. And I know that's going to sound really dull, but that's what it reminded me of as well. It reminded me of, not as well, obviously. I don't know if anyone else agrees with that comment. But yeah, like I said, I really liked it. And I think it was that sword. Was that the one I used? Can't remember now. Been 2 weeks, I think, since I finished it. 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, like I said, brilliant game. Really enjoyed it. Probably the best £2 I've ever spent in my life. Well, definitely in the last 10 years anyway, because what can you fucking get for £2 these days? Yeah, great game. There's one part that I'm not sure if the last boss is the same for everyone, because you can do it as you want, I think. Last boss I done was right at the start. Like when you first start in the game, just up the thing, but you've got to go and clear yourself in order to get up there. Yeah, fucking one boss that pissed me off is this toad thing.
Oh,
Game of it now, but this toad boss was a nightmare. Like I said, and when I beat him, I just had a little bit of energy. But yeah, anyway, great game, guys. Hope we'll all have a great stream and catch you in the next one.
Right.
Can I just say, I don't think Steve owns any furniture. Always on the floor.
Steve's right. That Toad boss was the worst. I hated that boss, so I nearly quit on that boss. I was like, I can't do this. I hated it so much.
I spent a day leveling up and trying to beat that Toad, didn't I? Literally like 10 hours.
He did my head in. I couldn't do it. I got it eventually, but man.
It's all about the parry. You had to parry that one. I mean,
That's the thing.
It's a lot.
I wasn't parrying at all, but I started to parry for that boss, and then I got him, and I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it.
I had a very different experience of that boss, because when I first encountered it, I was like, oh, this is tough. I went off and did, like, I think the king, then, the king acolytes in the cave, and then eventually came back to this one. But by that time, I had got a couple of upgrades for. Okay, again, for those who know, so the game is mostly meant to be like melee based, but you can have like a secondary weapon, which is like either a gun or a crossbow or like bow and arrow or something. So when you first get ammo for it, you get 5, and then you find more 5, 5, 5. So I had I think 15 total, and then got I've been stashing all of my my refills. So I was like, okay, take them all out of the shrine trunk, put them into my inventory, went to the boss, put them onto the quick equip, quick use D-pad, and then I was like, okay, shoot, refill, dodging, just dodging all the time, shoot, dodging, and then I think even my first or second attempt doing it that way, it went down. So, but that was my way of going through, because I know that again. I think, Ross, you may not even found that many ammo upgrades by that point, because you just have to pick them off random bodies. You don't know they're there. You just have to kind of loot everything in the world, and not randomly, they are in set places. Some of them will be extra heart refills or heart health refills or an ammo upgrade, but you don't know they're there. You just have to, find the right places. So
I did finally beat that frog with no parrying, with the placebo effect, which I'll explain.
Yeah, please explain for the audience what you did.
Okay. Well, during the game, you can go to the shrines and you can upgrade abilities. So I spent hours upgrading these abilities so they were top. Went all the way through the game. Nothing seemed to be happening. I was struggling. Everyone's like, oh, the frog went down easy. This went down easy. There was a couple of bosses I took down first try, no problems. Got to the final boss, and then I think, was it you, John, that said, which ones have you got equipped? I didn't realize you had to equip the skills after you'd unlocked them. So
and
I was going,
game. ... My response
I did the whole game with the base weapons and base stats.
I mean, to be fair, that just shows how much of a good gamer you are that you managed to do that. But okay,
how many?
My leveling up was pointless. It did nothing.
So how many you get those little square little diamonds that you get,
Yeah.
and you can slot them into each year. You still, how many of them did you have? Because obviously you didn't put them in anything. You know what I mean? And
No, I put them in things, but I didn't then equip
right.
the skill at the bottom, so they were all maxed out.
Oh god, because again, so for those who have not played the game, every time, so there are 7 acolytes. So the 7th being the final boss, but every time you beat one of the 6 previous ones, it gives you an extra slot to put an upgrade into, because there are 15 you can find in the world. So that means you have to pick which ones you want to upgrade and equip. So but after each boss, you can then equip another one. So even you could still choose to upgrade one of them, even if you haven't got it equipped, because then you'll be able to equip it later. Is the philosophy. There's also an achievement if you find all 15 in the world. I mean, I kind of stuck with the same ones throughout the entire game, health replenish quicker or stamina replenish quicker, XP build up quicker, things like that. There was some I never even touched, I think maybe the shooting ones I don't think I touched at all. But what kind of upgrades did you all use? Well, when you finally got around to it, Ross.
When I got around to it, I had it was just anything that was damage and stamina based. That seemed to work, because I didn't think I was ever going to beat that final boss. I got so close to beating the final boss within about 2 hits of him, about 6 times, and that's when I learned about the upgrades and dicked him in about 2 minutes. I wish I'd beat him. I genuinely do.
Dylan, how about you? Was there any particular upgrades that you preferred over others?
No, just health, stamina, ones that give you more drops of XP. You know what I mean? So you could try and build that up quicker to fill out your all. I can't even remember what were they called. Those little things that you slotted on. What was each? I can't even remember. But runes. No, there's the little things you put on your weapons, but the actual things.
Yeah, they are runes. Yeah,
runes, right? Yeah, but then what's those the things that you get slot your experience points onto? What were they called? They look like little gravestones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you picked them. You got a few of them. You collected them throughout the game, and you equipped them. And then you put all your experience points on. You got
it was relics, wasn't it?
Relics. That's it. Yeah. So relics. Gun 1, stamina, health. One where you'd get more experience points when you were fighting the baddies. But yeah, I mean, for me though, I mean, I mean, I don't know if it was everyone's else's thing. You found one weapon and thought, right, I'm going to do the game with this one weapon. You know what I mean? And I had one that was a big F-off sword, and it was just huge, it was heavy, you know what I mean? And to be honest, I kind of felt like I spammed it a little bit, because instead of doing the light one, I just do the heavy slash attack whilst they walked into it, and I found that was my key, so they wouldn't hit me, but I'd hit them with heavy damage. You know what I mean?
And how about you, Gordon?
I'm the same as that. I had the big, massive sword. So I was just using that, and you had to take. You've always got to time your attacks and things like that. But also upgrading stamina, so you can just dodge and run as much as you want. That was key as well, I think. I didn't use any other weapons. I just used big swords. That was it. Yeah. I know you got little claws and things like that. They look quite cool, but I never used it. I don't know what the game would be like using them, but I just think the big sword was cool, and it made it a bit easier.
The gun, though, I never really started using until a little bit later on. It was more like enemies. I just want to take them out from a distance. There was one where there was a little steampunk city. And and then I thought, I don't like them guys. I'll take them out from a distance rather than take them on. Because
the guys that launched the bombs up in there, man, those guys were a nightmare. I hated them as well.
The big, massive, giant fellas.
And they pumped the bombs up in the air, and it came to
that's what too many of them in a row.
There was loads of them at one point.
Because I had the same weapon pretty much, I think, till the final area of the game. Because right before you go to face the final acolytes, they give you loads of different weapons you can choose from, and I just have found something which was, I think, a bit stronger, because those steampunk guys absolutely would always kick my ass if I wasn't careful, which made me think I'm suddenly underpowered again, which was I guess to be expected as you get deeper into the game, but it was kind of like, ugh. You know, I thought I finally had a good flow with this, and then suddenly it's just like, you know, no, back down in your place, you know. So
I did the game with just the red sword that drained your your sanity, because for some reason I didn't have the stamina to swing the big sword. Like,
really,
Marco's blind game has got the stamina, you know.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
To swing his big sword.
yeah. Yeah. And one thing else that was not explained in the game: fast travel. Like I never used it once. It wasn't until like I think either very right at the end of the game or one of you mentioned it that I was like, oh, you can fast travel, can you? I just walked back to where
I learned that. I knew that one.
Yeah.
The map. It was really annoying that you could only use a map when you were at these stations.
Oh,
You
yeah,
use a
absolutely.
station, and you look up your map and think, right, where do I need to go? And sort of choose your path type of thing. You know, you could. I mean, I suppose it's a nice, different mechanic, but it was just a little bit irritating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a bit annoying. Yeah.
And
Sorry,
the ruins. I don't think the ruins are the things you slot on your thing where it looks. I don't know. I didn't. It does tell you. It says, "Oh, this, fire or ice," and I'm like, "Well, what does that mean? Even what does that have against different enemies and stuff?" I was just slotting them on the ones that had the highest numbers and just making them, just thinking it might do something. You know, it probably did. Maybe
I can tell you they worked. I used everything that was plus sanity.
And then you could, and then I thought, oh well, how do you take them off? And then later on, you get the rune breakers, and you can you take off your runes and then start your weapon from scratch. What I will say, I mean, I'm not, and that's the thing, but it got better, and by the end, I was quite enjoying it. You know what I mean? But it is a bit of a repetitive game. You are doing the same thing, kind of you're going through the motions, but I suppose that's maybe where the story is there for people who want to get a bit more out of it, get into the lore and the story, read up on all that. I'm sure, John, that was your thing, maybe. I don't know.
I kind of ignored the lore, if I'm being brutally honest. Like I enjoyed the environmental storytelling, but otherwise I was just running through the world. Like I didn't bother reading stuff unless if I had to, and they would reference like this like side quests you can do as well for like rewards, and some of them like they say, oh yeah, you've done this, go back to this person. I'm thinking, where the fuck were they again?
Well, that's it. That was the thing. You'd get so many of them. You think, well, where's that guy now? And so you'd end up going around the world just speaking to random people, thinking, oh, I hope that it was them that asked me to do kill this fella or grab the item.
I think that was my biggest gripe with the game was just the whole lack of direction. Like there was no like cutscenes, there was no narration to keep you going. There was no sense of urgency with any of the kind of acolytes. Like you didn't feel like the acolytes were like hurting the townspeople kind of thing. They were just kind of there, and you go and get them when you want to get them. It was just kind of there was no urgency to it. There was no kind of storytelling to push you on. That's kind of the biggest thing that let me down. I thought the game was good though. I thought the graphically it was good. I thought the soundtrack was very atmospheric, but the direction wasn't there for me, I think. But it's a good game.
I'm gonna have to say though that you just mentioned the graphics on it. It's a really nice looking game.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone says Sea of Stars is good, but this is like Sea of Stars in its goth phase. It's genuinely good.
It's goth phase.
Definitely.
I don't know about what you're saying about soundtrack. I was like, because I literally you posted a video, like was it yesterday or today, Ross? And you showed Morbid and your pickups, and you said, "Oh, it comes with a soundtrack." So I'm like, "What soundtrack?" It's just weird, eerie music in the background. Wasn't really songs or tunes. They're probably the only tunes are like different boss battles, but other than that, it was just like creepy background music.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Though I think it kind of fitted though with the kind of
completely,
the graphics, But I wouldn't imagine it was enough to have to make a soundtrack.
yeah, it's a bit like that with like something like Blasphemous. Blasphemous doesn't really have much. It's just eerie, apart from like the boss fights and stuff.
I love when games come with soundtracks, but nobody ever listens to them.
No.
The only soundtracks I ever listen to is anything.
We love them. We want the soundtrack, but no, we never listen to them.
Now, that's the problem with the soundtrack. It's most of the time you kind of like forget it's there, because if a soundtrack is bad, it can like break the immersion of the game.
Actually,
And
tell a lie. I used to fall asleep listening to the Silent Hill soundtracks. And that's literally just people banging metal.
dare I ask what your dreams were like?
Nope.
Happy.
Don't ask. Oh,
Right.
dear.
So, okay, so I said way back at the beginning after Ollie's video that I would contradict one of the things he said. So, this game, hopefully everyone will agree, I feel is very easy to, if you're on PlayStation, to platinum or be on Steam to get 100% of achievements. So, and what he said that you should try and do earliest as you can, the first Acolyte, is to kill it without taking a single hit. And that's what I disagree with, because I initially tried that and kept getting hit and getting frustrated. I was like, but then I read online, oh yeah, just do a New Game Plus, because you can carry over all of your weapons, all of your upgrades. And that's what I did. And then I got that. Whereas when I mentioned that in the chat, and I was like, oh, well, actually New Game Plus, I got the die 100 times achievement. I'm like, well, I got that in my first run through, so clearly blah blah blah, but yeah,
I'm gonna have to say, I think there might be an easier one to do it on. I watched back a video of all the bosses before this so I could remember the game. And there's the one that's got like a cauldron in the middle, and he's like kind of stuck there at the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's that?
So you get a couple of hits off on him, and he'll come after you.
Mhm.
If you hit him and keep rolling back and keep doing it, if you do it enough times, then let him loose. He has a full health bar, but you can kill him in one hit.
So
Done enough damage.
the cauldron.
There you go.
I think he was an acolyte. He might not be an acolyte, but he was one of the bosses.
That was it. Okay. I thought it was one of the acolytes that it had to be.
Oh,
He is an acolyte. I don't know if he
think
is. I can't remember if he was an
that's
acolyte or not.
The one with the cauldron, I think, is a side boss. I don't think.
Yeah,
he's fine.
yeah.
Damn it.
That's what I
Yeah,
was
stay with the first one then.
because there's one that is kind of is a cauldron kind of thing. Not cold. The one that was in like the steampunk town.
Is he
that
like
was
some
stuck in the
gooey
middle.
mess in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't him. No, it's like, I don't know. He looks a bit like a chicken satay. Just stood there. Like, it's a bit weird. But yeah, the one I almost did it on my playthrough. I beat the one with the. Actually, I almost did it twice. I beat the one with the piano dude.
Yep.
He was
To be
cool.
honest, pretty
That was
amazing when he
the easy one.
smashes his face
I
into the
beat that one
piano
on
at the
the
end.
first run. The piano.
Yeah, I think I got hit once on that, and I got hit once on the lady who threw her intestines.
Oh yeah, she was that. I think I almost quit the game at that point because I was struggling with beating her.
She was. I thought she was one of the easiest. She was a first time boss for me. I don't know why. But the frog.
Yeah. No, it's because her range is so big that I kept struggling because didn't have enough stamina to keep dodging and trying to hit her, and so I would just keep trying to just hit her and then die quickly, or I dodge her, run out of stamina still, and not even hit her. So it was just until
if you dodged her enough, she stood still in the middle. So I just kept doing that. I was fighting her for a very long time, but it was.
That's probably the boss I learned the parry on, because when she done the slash attack, you'd parry that, and if you time your parry correct, you get that flash, and that's when they're sort of stunned, and you get a window of opportunity to sort of do heavy damage on them. You know what I mean? But there was, I mean, I don't know what did everyone think. I mean, the parry, I know some people they played it and they didn't even use it.
I used it a bit, but I didn't rely on it. So I could do it with weaker enemies.
Yeah. It depends. I mean, sometimes some enemies would hit you quickly, into a couple of successions. I didn't with some ones then, but if there was a big enough gap between their attacks, you could just parry them, and then I found it quite effective in killing them. To be honest,
You can use it, but it just seemed more effective to dodge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you'd hit them and sort of take a step back. You know what I mean? Definitely.
I found most of the time, whatever you could parry, instead of parrying it, just roll towards them and hit them instead.
But my go-to move was slashing them a big sword and having them walk into the attack like Gordon did.
Having a big reach can be so important for trying to clear enemies, because then you can hit them before they can hit you.
Yeah, you press the attack button as they're coming towards you, and then by the time it comes around, they've walked right into it. That's
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the problem with that, I found that's probably why maybe I started losing a bit of interest. And it got a bit boring because that's all I was
Same
doing.
thing over and
Yeah.
over
Yeah,
again.
it's quite repetitive, like I said. But obviously there's the narrative to carry it all on. But some people have, Gordon said there was no cutscene, so there wasn't any much of that. So it was more the actual gameplay rather than the story. You know what I mean? And the gameplay a little bit repetitive, but it was fun. It could be a bit repetitive. I think the interest came in the different types of bosses. You know what I mean? Which were quite interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of meaning. Like the bosses were so cool. Like, the design of them were really cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any backstory. Like the piano guy, I thought was a cool design of a boss, but I didn't know why he was an acolyte or how he became an acolyte. Do you know that would have been cool to find that out? But I guess you could find it out through reading the lore and things like that. But I don't do that. I don't read
some of the lore to try and see if it gave like clues on how to beat people. Because I was in like towards the end of the game, I was in clenched asshole mode the entire time. I was like to its death on everything, like the standard enemies.
No, because to reference a different game that did do like the same thing. So Pandora's Tower on the Wii, which I played a couple of months ago. And so there are these 13 towers, and you need to take out like the boss of each tower. So when you're in the boss chamber, you can pick up an item which is pretty much unreadable text, and you have to get your girlfriend back at your base to translate it for you.
Yeah.
And then that turns out to be like them writing down like, the reason for, becoming, the boss of the tower. So because they get converted to become the boss. But it's not like because they were evil or anything. They were trying to like make the world a better place, and this is like how it was being done. So but they try to, I feel in that game, make not make you, but make you feel like you want to read it, like you want to see what their story was. Whereas with
what was next? Yeah.
The only kind of backstory you kind of got was the stuff they said after you defeated them when they regained some of their former selves. Like I think the woman with throwing her intestines around, I think she might have like mentioned her child or something like that. So you kind of have to like use those small bits of text to try and build the backstory, I guess.
Yeah, I just realised was that not intestines? That wasn't a child, was it? On an umbilical cord.
I think it was an organ. No, it was. I don't think it was a fetus. I think it would be a bit more obvious if it was that. It was just
that's a pretty brutal attack.
I mean, because like if you're trying to send like a statement with this game, like have like it was in the trailer that I showed earlier on, like having like that woman and then like suddenly using her own intestines as like a flail, as like a weapon and flinging that around, like that is a pretty cool like spectacle to have for a boss, to be fair. But then also she was kind of like cradling it like a baby,
I was going to say that. I do remember, like, she was in the middle holding, like, was it not a baby? I thought it was a baby. No, maybe it wasn't.
I'm thinking a baby on an intestine's a fucking bad flame.
Honestly, I remember her, like, cradling it.
I'm going to go.
Lullaby.
You guys keep talking.
Because I did read that this was apparently meant to be like, they were aiming to be like a really gruesome, like 2D game, like one of like the most gruesome words they could. That would make sense, but
how long did everyone take to beat it?
I don't know.
I'm wondering how many hours I put into it. You know what I mean? It did feel like for the first couple of days or whatever, over the course of a couple of days of playing, it felt like I wasn't really getting anywhere. Then I started getting into a little bit more into it, getting a bit more used to how it played, my weapons and all that stuff started accumulating, and it seemed like I knocked off a few of the acolytes quite quickly in quick succession. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say I wasn't like obviously John and someone else, but was it you, Gordon, who were the first to beat it? I think I wasn't that far off from you guys.
18 hours, and 10 hours of that was the frog.
9.5 for me.
I honestly can't remember.
I've just noticed that when I looked at my stats then, if you want to, you can get 2 platinums out of this, if you can do the American version as well on the PlayStation.
That's a separate game.
How can you find out? Can you go on your PSN account or something and find out how long you played it for?
I do it through True Trophies and True Achievements.
Ah, right.
So is that trophy? You can't get hit by the boss, or you can't get killed by the boss.
Can't get hit.
I know. I tried that today. It didn't go well. So I'm not going for the platinum.
I mean,
I thought I'll quickly go in and try and get it, but no.
like I say, if you do it in New Game Plus, go pick up the first gun ammo, and then just shoot it repeatedly before it gets to you. Is pretty much what you should do. Because you also equip like the upgrades for like the guns. Well, no, you can't use the upgrades yet. But ignore me. Either way, it's a lot easier in New Game Plus than just shooting it.
Yeah, it goes down pretty quick shooting.
So I'm still trying to find like, because this game, I'm trying to see if I can still find out more about these bosses, but there's not much online unless there's YouTube videos. But to see whether or not this woman was using her child or her intestines.
This is not the way we thought this was going to go.
No, like, oh, is this woman using a fetus, throwing around a fetus as a weapon? No. Okay. We'll have to come back down another time rather than just watch me try and figure that out.
Oh, we need to know about the fetal flail.
Oh, okay. Maybe it might be like what the Steam guys might explain. But because
It was that long ago that I played it. I can't remember what all the acolytes looked like or what they were. There was like there was the one on the bridge or the staircase. That's the first one, isn't it? You know, there was the one in the middle of the room, the intestine one. There was the frog. There was like a purple weird thing that spawned little enemies and stuff. There was the people in the theater, and then the final one. There's probably another
Chained
one.
Up King.
Yep.
Oh right, okay.
I don't know. Then the final boss though, like, I understand. People need to find it. He's got 3 phases. I beat him the first time, thought he went down. He gets back up.
Refilling health bars piss me off.
I thought, okay, beat him the second time. I was like, I've done this. I've beat him. Yeah, the third time, like, there should never be a third phase ever.
That was annoying. That was really annoying.
I actually found the file. Okay, I didn't beat it. It might have been like maybe my 3rd attempt, but you can kind of make that final boss. Glitch might not be the right word, but you can get him stuck on like, or not stuck, but he just is trying to get through the scenery, like the candle pillars, to get to you. So if you just stand behind it with him in front of it, he can't figure out if to go left or right, and you just keep hitting him from there. And that's what I did to.
Oh, you can properly cheese him, but if you don't have the extra power, he starts spawning tons of enemies to come after you as well. Which every time I mention something, it's like, they're spawning enemies. Everyone's like, what enemies?
And the spikes in the floor that go in different patterns, that did my head in as well. Good game though.
Yeah,
it's a good game.
I enjoyed it because, like, after you beat every boss, it had the same kind of feeling to me that Cuphead did. When I finally beat something, it was just like you felt like you'd accomplished something. So I can see why people love like the Dark Souls games. So for that kind of dopamine hit.
I'm still trying to find out about this woman, but there we go. No. Anyway. But yeah, so did we say at the beginning, like, who had actually heard of this game before? Like, I think I said I hadn't, but yeah.
I'd heard of it.
Yeah,
heard of it.
It was Geordie who mentioned it, and I do remember seeing it around on the, in the online stores when it came out, or around the time. I thought, well, it looks interesting. And
Game and CEX. I thought I'll pick that up one day. That looks good. It's cheap.
I think it reviewed well, but I think there was also a big patch to that addressed like a bunch of balancing issues as well after release.
I didn't know they got a sequel though.
Yeah, it's like a 3D game now, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently it's dreadful.
Yeah. think I heard about it back when I first heard about that Scoutfold game as well. That game's hard, man.
Oh yeah.
It's
Is
Scoutfold.
that similar?
Yeah, there's two of them, and they're two scout folds. I've got
There's
the first
three
one.
now. Third one coming out, isn't there?
Was there?
Yeah.
That was hard. That was a hard game, that one. I didn't finish it.
Yeah, I've got that. I've not got to it yet, but it's a Red Art Games one, isn't it? But I believe the second one's a bit better. You know what I mean? The first one, I think you look at it and you think it's going to be a Metroidvania from the cover, don't
Aye.
you?
Yeah,
But,
it's not.
The two of them have completely different play styles, don't they? One's top down and one's like 2D.
Yeah,
It's
one's
I think, yeah.
Does anyone know what was the name of this Morbid sequel?
Morbid 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Hold on. It is called. It should come up here.
Oh,
Lords
Lords
of
of Fire.
Fire.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Won't necessarily play the whole thing.
Pretty trailer.
Sorry, trailer. Okay, skip. Yeah.
I don't know why you'd get rid of such a nice art style and go 3D.
Yeah, strange.
Okay, so we might get a bunch of narration
Right.
over this because I haven't actually bothered looking at the trailer for this one. But share screen. Here we go. We'll play all of it, but just to.
Was a sound designer and writer at Still Running. I'm thrilled to present to you today an exclusive sneak peek of our upcoming action RPG, Morbid: The Lords of Ire. Morbid: The Lords of Ire is the second installment in the Morbid game series, following its isometric pixel art predecessor, Morbid: The Seven Acolytes. In order to take the series to the next level, we took the daunting leap of bringing the world of Morbid to the third dimension, and are now eager to show you what we've been working on. In Morbid: The Lords of Ire, duty calls the striver once more. The devious deities, known as the Gahars, have risen anew in the ancient land of Ire through the brood of dreadful acolytes. You, a fierce warrior bound by duty, must traverse the accursed land and slay the fallen lords of the 5 factions to rid the Gahars of their flesh. Many of the key features from the first Morbid game will make their return in Morbid: The Lords of Ire, only this time with even more depth and diversity. Such features include our perk-based player upgrade system, our rune-based weapon upgrade system, as well as the ever-so-punishing insanity system. Essentially, we took what was great about Morbid and made it better still. The combat mechanics in Morbid: The Lords of Ire have been given a lot of love. Both the Striver and her enemies have been equipped with extensive and highly responsive movesets in order to produce versatile combat encounters with several exciting ways of resolving them. And to amp up the variables even further, the Striver has over 10 different weapon classes with unique wielding styles and combos,
3D just makes it so generic.
as well as a one-of-a-kind firearm, the Spectral Blaster. In addition to these revamped core features, Morbid: The Lords of Ire will also offer a variety of memorable characters, quests, looting, new game plus modes, and of course, a lore-filled world of abysmal beings and gore galore.
Dylan said enough.
We're excited to bring Morbid: The Lords of Ire.
I mean, it to me looks like it's just somebody took the 7 Acolytes and just turned it to 3D. That's how it looks to me. Like it's the same enemies, the same GUI, the same environments by the looks of it as well.
The only thing I got from that is I bet the guy narrating it has some epic phone calls.
At the start there, he was talking about bringing it from 2D into 3D. It sounds like his pitch was way back in 1997. Do you know what I mean? Taking all the 2D games, bringing them to 3D. He's like 20 years too late. That's what I think. Should have kept it 2D. Anyway.
Yeah, it's... But it also sounds like they pretty much they are reusing the actual story of the first game. Well, they say the 5 factions to try and make it a bit different, but like, oh, the lords have come back and you've got to take them out again, fighting the same enemies, and and so it's like, oh, maybe you would prefer this game in 3D rather than 2D. Here you
Maybe
go.
they had to cut a few because they're not allowed to have a 3D baby flail.
Well, we'll see if the bosses are the same or not. But oh, some people have been commenting. Morbid 2 now in 3D. Actually looks more. So Scott Story Hunter says, actually looks more my thing. Eddie says, the 2D art style was my favorite key feature from the first game. Does that come back in a patch? Ollie, 8-Bit Boy UK, I think they were basically looking to follow along the same footsteps as Bloodborne. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I suppose it could be said if you enjoyed the gameplay of the first game, it looks like it's there still, but it's just in 3D. I mean, would you agree? It's the same gameplay style, just different.
It does, but it might not, like the hitboxes of the 3D might just be way more janky or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's much harder for them.
Yeah,
That out.
the whole art style just looked off. It didn't look as creepy or as menacing as it did in 2D. It looked kind of bland, like the environments. But,
I mean, I think if we were to play that probably like now after having beaten the first game, you would be like, oh, probably not interested. But if it came up in Club 52 in like a year or two, maybe we would, when we've kind of like not necessarily forgotten this game, but if like a bit of time has passed, and maybe it would be more enjoyable to play. But otherwise, I'm not sure if I want to go immediately into a sequel, which is gameplay wise maybe nearly identical. I
wouldn't not play it, but yeah, I don't want to buy it.
You know what would make the sequel better is if they didn't have those little fly things or maggots.
Oh,
they have absolutely everything you ever touched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
irritating. I went off because I just wanted. I needed to find out. I wanted to find out how long I'd been playing it for. 21 hours.
21 hours. Okay.
So, I don't know.
Did you see any of the trailer at all?
Yeah, I saw some of it when I was starting. Some fella talking. You know what I mean? But
I mean, what did you
miss the gameplay part? Sorry.
I mean, it was pretty much the same. I mean, what did you think of like the art style and the look of it?
In the 3D, the new one,
yeah.
I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I was out of the room when that was
no, you're saying like kind of feels like the first game, but now in 3D, pretty much.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've seen trailers of it anyway. I'd seen what it looked like. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it just looks like another like budget 3D game to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
usually my thing.
And then like copy paste assets, like the world, like copy paste door, copy paste window.
Yeah,
instant. Aye.
So AI turn this 3D.
Well, maybe.
Did Glory Hunter play this?
I don't think Scott.
I think so.
Did he?
Thanks.
He's in the chat of it.
Yeah. Did you play it? I don't remember him talking. I know like Eddie did. I know that Mark did, but
Eddie's already played it. You see, I think Eddie played it a while back.
He played it before the challenge. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I say, what Paul Inknoven said at the beginning, it was a little bit boring. It's I think you just stick by it, get past that little barrier. No, I didn't get around to that one, sadly. No.
No, I mean, I think
once you get past a certain, it becomes a bit more enjoyable. But at first, it's a little bit of a slog. But
I think you have to start being able to actually upgrade yourself, and also find a weapon that makes the gameplay more enjoyable for you. But like where you are so limited to begin with, you are.
It's slow as well. You're walking around; they just feel quite slow. I mean, when you use like fast pieces of action games, it does knock down the pace because it is very slow, lumbering and walking around. Like say Ross said, about running later on, but even the running is not that fast. But yeah, it does make it a little bit quicker. Because like if you're using the same weapon that Gordon and I used with the big sword, that's slow as well. So it's a slow game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, most Souls likes are pretty slow and methodical, isn't it? It's all about waiting to take your shot.
I mean, I said way back earlier in the stream, like I've never played a Souls-like game, but this playing Morbid lulls me into a false sense of security that maybe I should give Dark Souls to try. And that's a game I said I would never play because I know I'll be hurling like my controller through the screen. So, but it makes me feel like maybe I could play it, and that's a dangerous train of thought to have. So, yeah.
Play Hollow Knight instead, more enjoyable, and that gives you that Souls element. You know what
I might actually own Hollow Knight. Let me check. I've got Like I'm nearly
Yeah.
at like 700 games on Steam. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I own Hollow Knight. So
Yeah.
never played it. But
Yeah.
Is it in the wheel? Will it come up?
Is it on the wheel? I don't know. I don't think.
No.
it is.
I think
Eddie made you take it out because it was too long.
yeah.
It is a long game. To be fair, it does
Aye.
take a long time.
Okay. Is there? I mean, is there like any other like certain bits about the game people want to discuss, or are we kind of like into our final thoughts? Do you think on that? I mean, it's not really that much we could probably discuss. Like,
All I'd say is I'd recommend it if you want
Yeah.
as a budget kind of release. Like
maybe not
on sale for
physical.
£2. Yeah, not physical. I only wanted the physical because I want a physical of everything we play for the 50
Mhm. But yeah, when you get pick up like
£2 or even a few quid,
Yeah.
you're getting your money's worth for that. Easy, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Steve said, best £2 he's ever spent.
Yeah, I was happy to pay £2 for it.
Yeah, like I say, if you can get over that first bit, then you can, and you also understand. Like, if you feel like you're struggling with the gameplay of it, I'll be honest, it's probably not you. It is probably that the game has not explained its mechanics either A, well enough, or B, at all. So check the internet, check wikis, or check like Reddit, YouTube, or speak to someone you know. Like if you're watching this, speak to one of us. You know,
John will put his phone number at the end of this for Morbid tips.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if people want, honestly, if people want like to ask questions, like I'm more than happy to answer it. So, and for someone who started YouTube thinking, you know, like, oh, I might get to know people, but there's no way in hell like I'd be giving out personal details. And now I'm in all these WhatsApp groups and also like meeting up with certain people, you know, for drinks, you know, like that seems like an impossibility. So, yeah, I mean, by all means, hit me up if you want some advice about how to play Morbid. It's because it is worth, especially if you buy it for like £2. It is.
Yeah.
You will have a lot of fun with it, but you do have to get over that hurdle.
You are the guru.
Maybe.
What would you give it out of 10?
That is a tough one actually, because I'm trying to remember, like, go back to the headspace of a couple of weeks ago when I beat it. Because I'll be honest, like, I have drunk a bunch since then, so it's not okay. It's not a 10 out of 10 game. It's also not like a 5 out of 10 game. It's somewhere like in the middle, because it's a competently made game. The art style is definitely interesting, like, you know, with the kind of grotesque like nature of the world. Like there's just blood everywhere, even like the plants like explode with blood, for example. But there's very little like story in it. You know, we talked about, like, you know, there's like no cutscenes, and to find out information about the bosses, unless if there's like some text that we just didn't find, it's just the bits of information after. So, and I don't know if I would ever come back to replay it. Like, I've got all the trophies now, so there's little reason to, unless if it's part of like one of these kind of challenges, and I think, yeah, I'll give it another go, you know, if it's like maybe in 10 years time. So I mean, I've always struggled to give games numerical values, because there's how you feel now versus like, does the game still hold that rating in like 5 years, 10 years time? You know, so it's, I don't know, it's in the, I would recommend it as long as you're willing to put some hours into it first category.
Solid 7 for me.
Yeah,
100%. I'd say 7 as well.
Yeah, I was literally going to say 7.
Yeah. So I was just a very long-winded, blabbering, you know, 7 out of 10. So,
but the problem is, I believe the games that you find that are 7 out of 10, they take more risks and they're more interesting than you 10 out of 10. So
I think
that's the number I like of a review.
It's an 8 from Eddie.
Yep, 8.
He said it was better than Unsighted. I totally disagree. Unsighted is a much better game.
I mean,
I'll say that.
Not played Unsighted.
Unsighted, really. Yeah, it's like a top-down. It's kind of similar. It's like top-down sort of Zelda, Metroidvania, puzzle adventure type game. Like with similar graphical style. You know, it's pixel art graphics. You know what I mean? It's probably one that's I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just if you were just to say to someone, "Oh, it's a 7 out of 10," that's kind of a double-edged sword because I think, you know, there seems to be like, oh, if for a game to be good, it has to be at least a 7. So, and then some people might like kind of pass over because they want an 8 or 9 or a 10. So that's why I kind of like to put my feelings forward for why, you know, I feel like a game should be tried, because sometimes number values can be a bit, you know, misunderstood.
Black and white.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, if you should play it, I think, for these reasons. If you don't like those reasons, do not play it. Rather than saying it's 10 out of 10, I'll give it a try. You know, sight unseen. So,
yeah.
Give a number already, goddammit. Oh, I did. I agreed with 7 out of 10. So, okay.
Good, but not outstanding. You know what I mean? Competent game. You know,
it is a very enjoyable, you know, one playthrough game.
If you give it, if
From
you
the
give
£2.
yeah, for value wise, it's amazing value. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Anything else anyone wants
Maybe
to
an
say?
amazing value as well if you'd have bought it full price at launch. You know what I mean? Rather than
If you bought it like 6 months ago in CEX and it was £8, great value.
Yeah, that's true. If you bought it full price when it was released, you might have a very different opinion of it. So
it was in Ross's
I
pickups
actually
today,
think it was
wasn't
a
it?
budget release. I think it was a budget release. It was like 25 quid, I think, when it came out.
okay.
Yeah, it was like £20 game or something. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. Then Ross is buying it for 85 in his pickup.
Got a signature with it.
Who
Oh,
was
but
was it
and the soundtrack.
James?
Got
That
the
sounds like
soundtrack
some
too.
pins. I'm going to wear those pins every day.
Oh my god, gaming pins. Who wears them? Really?
So what did you say before, Dylan?
I was just about. Oh, I've forgotten now. Yeah, it's totally gone.
So Ross, you should do a stream of just playing the music and not say anything and just be there, kind of just listening to it and see how the audience reacts. So
Sitting in the dark with an ominous stare.
yeah, with the soundtrack, you know, just that's it. So yeah.
Dim lights. Ross, is that a fridge behind you?
Where?
In that big white thing, is that a fridge?
No, it's an IKEA bookcase. That's a fridge.
Oh right, okay. That's right. It just looks like a fridge. You know what I mean? Oh, that's mental having like a double fridge, like a huge fridge in your games room.
If that was full of beer, I'd be a happy man.
Right. Do we want to spin the wheel now?
Aye.
I think we've pretty much exhausted Morbid now. So
For me, I'm like, I want it to be one of my games, but then I don't want it to be one of my games because I don't want to do the stream.
I also don't want it to be a long game.
I don't want it to be Rollo.
I don't want it to be. I
That
don't
was
want it to
one
be
of your
Donkey
choices,
Kong.
wasn't it, John?
I don't want it to be something on the Xbox, which isn't the 360 at the moment.
As long as it's no Donkey Kong, they're fine.
And I want it to be a cheap game. So if I want to have
Yep.
got it, as long as it's cheap.
Having trouble. Can you see it?
Yeah, can't read it, but I can see the wheel.
Spin.
Oh.
Oh god,
Voodoo Fence.
Vince.
what's that on?
That's my pick. That's my pick.
Yeah, I
That's
think I
Robbie's.
have that on Steam. Hang on.
Oh, do you know what?
Annoyingly, I wanted to play the remake of that. And I
Dark
can't.
Summit
I'll
was
play
right
the
next to
original.
it. Right next to it was Dark Summit. I just picked it
What was
up.
next to it?
Dark Summit. I just picked it up recently.
Is that like a snowboarding one?
Aye.
Is that an Xbox game?
It was multi, wasn't it? It was on Cube as
right,
well.
was it? Oh, right, okay.
Actually, yeah, I think it was Cube.
So what is Voodoo Vince?
It's a 3D platformer where you hurt yourself to hurt enemies.
Okay, and what platform is it on?
It's on OG Xbox, and there's a remake on like Xbox Series X and that.
Right, okay.
So you can get it digitally.
Yeah.
Dirty digital. That's what I'm going.
Literally, I can't play anything other than 360 at the moment, so I'm gonna have to play the OG copy.
And what price is that going for these days? Is that a pricey one?
No, it's about a 15, 20 quid game. When I put it on the wheel, it was. Let's have a look.
That's not bad.
Oh, okay. The remaster is so.
Go on,
Okay.
John. What's the cheapest way to play it
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
on a modern platform? You know,
Speak my
Yeah.
language.
Okay. On Steam, the remaster is currently sits at £10.99.
Physical on OG is like between 7 and 10 quid.
Yeah.
Ah.
So okay.
What is on eBay?
Yeah.
eBay. What is it? CX?
Um,
I'm gonna look
68.
it up.
12.
That's not bad. That's all right.
Oh, right. Okay. So he's an odd-looking guy, isn't he?
So
It's
I
supposed to
will.
be a middle of the road but quite fun platformer with a odd premise.
Okay. 1 sec. I am going to. Hopefully. Oh wait, I don't know if I shared the audio of that, so let's just. Well, okay. Is that coming through?
Aye.
For people who don't like Xbox, hey Dylan.
I don't like. It's not. I just don't own one. I don't own the modern Xboxes. I've got last Xbox I got was a 360. I haven't had anything since then. So
It might be backwards compatible because it was I think it was just Xbox.
I mean, to be fair, I've got an OG Xbox, and I've got an OG Xbox with a 2 terabyte hard drive in, which has got like about 700 Xbox games on the hard drive. So it's probably.
I'll apologise because it was my pick, so it means I'm
No,
stupid
it's
in the
fine.
next
Don't
one.
worry. It's all good. It just means you've got to do it. You've got to. Which one?
It
Was
looks all right, actually. It looks quite decent.
It's supposed to be a pretty good game, to be honest with you. But
Aye.
it was good enough to get a remaster.
What was
Yeah.
what was the game that you done a stream on, Ross?
Infinax.
Infinax. So yeah, you stepped in for Mark, didn't you?
That was a good game. Infinax was good.
Infinax was that was a gem. That.
Yeah, that's up there as one of my favourite modern retro games I've ever played.
Did you play that, John?
No, I haven't actually. So I
You missed out on that. That was great. That was a good
Yeah.
game. That.
feel like I probably should have played it, but because I'm trying to do 12 RPGs this year, unless I feel like I probably could get through the games that come on this wheel, I've not tried to be like religious about playing all of them. So which is a good and a bad thing. So, but I think
I got Infinax down to 45 minutes of playthrough, so you can do it in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I feel so bad. I've only missed one game, and that was Pokemon Black.
Yeah, I didn't play that game because it's RPG.
I didn't play Pokemon Black, and I didn't
I
play.
just didn't get very far into it.
I didn't play Donkey Kong. I started playing it, but then I just put it down and never went back.
What one?
Donkey Kong.
That was pish.
Donkey Kong Country 3, wasn't it?
I got angry at Donkey Kong.
I hated it so much, man. I got through it though, but oh my god, nope, never again.
No,
But it's
everyone missed Pokemon. I think Norman played it, didn't he?
Aye.
I streamed Donkey Kong just so I could relive my rage at any point.
Oh, I hate. Oh my god. But everyone says play number 2. 2 is fantastic. I'm like, nope, no more Donkey Kong, never again.
I like number 1.
I'm sure they're good games, but
So what's left on the wheel? There's a lot. Is there any like really cool ones? All mine, or I don't even know I can't remember what I picked. I know Catherine's one,
none of my games have come up yet.
and Shadow of the Damned I picked, didn't I? Because I've never played it. It's always one of them.
That's a crack. I can't wait till that spins up.
It's pretty good.
I've ordered that on physical on PS5, the remastered one.
There's
So
so
we're
many
still
games on there that I've got that I'm trying not to play until they come up, like Metroid Dread. I want to play Metroid Dread.
Metroid Dread.
Metroid Dread.
We've still got Ico, Ghouls and Ghosts,
Right.
Devil May Cry, Inversion, Toki, Driver, Enslaved, Tales of Berseria, Rogue Trooper, Time Soldiers, Left Alive. Tons of games still on here. Gradius,
That's mine.
Metroid Dread, Tenchu Z. Catherine, did you put that one there?
Yeah.
Aye. What else we got? Dark Summit, Rain, Saints Row.
Rain, is that like the vampire one, is it? Rain, I don't
What's
know.
that?
if it-
Blood Rain.
Rain,
Oh.
what is Rain?
Blood Rain is the vampire one.
Oh, right.
Aye, so loads of cool games still there.
Mm-hmm.
Banjo
I
Kazooie is
hear
there.
anything there that I'm dreading playing, to be honest with you.
You're dreading what?
I didn't hear anything that I'm dreading.
No.
Hmm.
Ghouls and Ghosts, dreading that.
I'm not good at that.
No.
I might try it for 5 minutes.
Aye.
I'll try and beat it. If I beat it, it'll be a miracle. I've never beat it.
That's a tough one.
Hmm. So this was Ross.
Right then.
Was this your game? Ross, was this your pick?
Yeah, my pick.
Okay. So you'll be hosting next live stream then?
I will be indeed. Sorry.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Well done, John.
I think we're pretty much there then. So for the next Club 52 game, if people would like to play along, is going to be Voodoo Vince. It is available as a remaster on modern platforms, which you can pick up. Well, at least on PC and Xbox. I don't know if it's on PlayStation.
I think it's just PC and Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can pick it up from CEX or eBay if you want to give it a go. So yeah, I mean, I'm slightly annoyed because this was on sale during the Steam sale during the summer, like which finished like a week ago. So, so yeah. Anyway, so we'll see. But yeah, so in a month, 6 weeks time, there should be another live stream. So cool. But
How long?
well, we always say a month, but then you
Yeah.
know it's always delays. So yeah.
Because I'm on about 3 weeks to buy the game, you know what I mean?
I mean, I'm tempted to see if I can like wait for it to go down in price again before I pick it up. So we'll see. But cool. Oh, thank you all for joining me for my very first live stream. I hope I did Ollie proud, as he can do this one for himself. So yeah, thank you all guys for joining.
Adios.
Cheers, guys.
Cool. I hope anyone's still watching. Enjoy what's left of your weekend, and yeah, go out there, play some games. That's what Club 52 is all about. It's just getting these games off our shelves or digital shelves and actually playing them rather than just collecting them and then never playing anything. It's just getting through the backlog. So play games. Play games. On that note, catch you all later. Bye.
Yo.